You know that feeling when you're just trapped in a loop? You're putting in the hours, you grind day in and day out, but the exact same problems keep popping up, and you're still not hitting your goals. It is incredibly frustrating, right? You might even start thinking the universe is against you, or maybe you just have terrible luck. But what if I told you the real obstacle isn't your circumstances at all? What if the absolute biggest barrier to your success is quietly sitting right there inside your own head?
Today's explainer is a deep dive into an incredibly fascinating psychological secret. This is something the world's most successful people have understood for a really long time. By figuring out this hidden part of your brain, you can literally rewrite your reality. We're talking about completely transforming your health, your wealth, and your overall happiness. I am absolutely thrilled to unpack this with you today because, honestly, the concepts we're going over are genuinely life-changing.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the hidden power of the mind, the law of seed and soil, the subconscious impact on health, success and career programming, and finally, exactly how to program your mind. Let's jump right into section 1, the hidden power of the mind, conscious versus subconscious. To really get how our internal operating system works, we have to look at the difference between the conscious and the subconscious. Your conscious mind is the part of you that thinks, makes logical decisions, and processes the world around you. But your subconscious mind, that's the silent partner. It quietly controls your entire reality in the background. It doesn't use logic. Instead, it takes the thoughts you repeatedly feed it and slowly, steadily turns them into your actual life experience. In fact, here's a crazy thing. The subconscious mind literally does not understand jokes. It takes absolutely everything literally. It doesn't know the difference between a sarcastic comment and a deeply held, serious belief. So if you constantly joke about having terrible luck or you repeatedly tell yourself you just aren't capable enough, your subconscious accepts that as a very serious instruction. It goes right to work in the background to make sure that bad luck becomes your actual reality. Which brings us to section 2, the law of seed and soil, and how your mind grows your reality. So how exactly does this whole mechanism work? Well, think of your conscious mind as a farmer and your subconscious mind as the soil. The farmer, that's your conscious, logical mind, gets to choose exactly which seeds to plant. The soil, your subconscious, doesn't argue with the farmer. It doesn't judge, it doesn't filter, it doesn't ask questions. It simply accepts whatever seed is planted and starts growing it. If the farmer plants wheat, he gets wheat. If he plants mangoes, he gets mangoes. It works the exact same way in your head. If you plant seeds of fear and self-doubt, your subconscious is going to grow a life full of anxiety and limitation. But if you plant seeds of confidence and belief, it's going to grow success.
And you really have to be careful with this because your subconscious mind never sleeps. Even when you are completely knocked out in bed, dreaming away, your subconscious is wide awake. It's actively processing the thoughts and beliefs you fed it all day long. This makes the thoughts you have right before you fall asleep incredibly important. If you go to bed tossing and turning, worrying and stressing about tomorrow, you are essentially programming your mind for failure all night long. Moving on to section 3, subconscious impact on health and the incredible mind-body connection.
Now, this theory doesn't just stop at abstract psychology. It has a very visceral, physical reality. Your subconscious doesn't just manage your habits. It actually controls your bodily functions. We're talking about your heartbeat, your breathing, your digestion, and most crucially, your body's natural healing processes. This is deeply, deeply rooted in science through something called the placebo effect. You've probably heard of it. It's a highly recognized medical phenomenon where a patient's physical body heals from an illness, not because of any real medicine, but purely because of their strong subconscious belief that they are receiving a cure. When a person lives in constant fear and negative thinking, the subconscious sends stress signals throughout the entire body, which eventually causes real physical harm. But when the mind is filled with peace and a rock-solid belief in recovery, the subconscious triggers the body's natural ability to actually heal itself. Let's look at an example. Imagine a student who is just completely overwhelmed by exam stress. Their conscious mind is constantly repeating things like, "I'm going to fail," or "I can't remember anything." So what happens? The subconscious soil absorbs those seeds of fear. It completely accepts failure as the ultimate goal, and it responds by physically manifesting that exact fear. It causes the student's memory to go totally blank, and their performance just plummets right in the middle of the test.
Now contrast that with a student who actively reprograms their mind. This student repeats phrases like, "I am focused," "My mind is strong," and "I will perform well." By planting these positive seeds, their subconscious physically calms their nervous system down. Their confidence goes up, their mind becomes crystal clear, and their real-world exam results drastically improve. The difference between these two students isn't always raw intellect. It's the subconscious programming that's running quietly in the background.
That takes us to Section 4, Success and Career Programming. This is all about rewriting your financial destiny. You know, so many people fail in their careers despite working incredibly hard, entirely because they are running on bad mental software. They grew up hearing things like, making money is just too hard, or people like us don't get rich. Over time, those limiting beliefs become permanently embedded in the subconscious. Take a small shop owner with a fear mindset, for instance. They constantly think, my shop's never gonna grow, I just don't have the resources. Because the subconscious accepts this as an absolute truth, it literally blinds the owner to any new opportunities. But contrast that with a success mindset. This owner thinks, I'm going to provide the best service and I will grow my shop. This primes their subconscious to actively hunt for solutions. Suddenly, they start spotting new opportunities everywhere, like setting up digital payments, offering online delivery, or using social media to promote their brand.
It all boils down to this. The real seed of success is always planted in the mind first. Your subconscious acts entirely according to your beliefs. If you believe you're weak, your mind is going to find excuses for you. But if you believe you are capable, your mind will find incredible solutions and career opportunities that were practically invisible to you just a day before. And finally, Section 5, How to Program the Mind. These are the actionable steps for real transformation. So we know the subconscious dictates our reality, but how do we actually take the steering wheel and rewrite the code? Well, there are 3 concrete, highly actionable techniques you can use to consciously program your mind: daily affirmations, visualization powered by emotion, and gratitude. Let's break down exactly how you can apply each one of these practically starting today to see real changes.
Step 1 is daily affirmations. This means actively and intentionally repeating positive sentences to yourself. Things like, I am incredibly capable, or I am attracting new opportunities every day. Repetition is absolutely key here because the subconscious learns through consistency. And remember what we talked about earlier? Because your mind never sleeps, that window right before you go to bed is the absolute most critical time for these affirmations. Feeding your mind positive thoughts right before sleep ensures your subconscious is working on those goals for you all night long.
Step 2 is visualization. But there is a major caveat here. There is a huge difference between empty imagination and true visualization. If someone aspiring to be a civil servant just loosely pictures passing the exam, but deep down inside they feel intense fear and doubt, the subconscious is just going to ignore the image. True visualization requires you to vividly imagine the outcome, actually seeing yourself confidently writing the exam, acting as an officer, and attaching deep, genuine, positive emotion to it. The subconscious doesn't actually know the difference between a real event and an intensely imagined one, so it accepts that highly emotional image as a powerful, direct instruction.
Finally, step 3 is gratitude. An employee who constantly complains about their low salary is trapping their mind in a state of negativity and scarcity, which actively repels success. But when that exact same employee practices gratitude, really thanking the universe for just having a job and having a chance to learn, their mind immediately enters a state of abundance. Gratitude acts like a frequency tuner. It instantly makes hidden opportunities and new skills visible to your subconscious. Gratitude acts like a widow over modern opportunities. It instantly becomes visible to you. As we wrap up this explainer, the core takeaway is pretty clear. Your life isn't shaped by your external circumstances. It is shaped by your internal thoughts. You are the farmer of your own mind. If you change your thoughts, you can completely transform your world. So I want to leave you with one vital question to really think about. What seed will you plant in your mind today? Choose wisely because your subconscious is already getting ready to grow it.